Good afternoon, everybody. I hope that everybody is having a wonderful day. And I'm here to talk about toxic chemicals that they be putting in these foods and toxic chemicals that they also put in a lot of these snacks and the toxic chemicals that they be putting in the food at the restaurants and these fast food places also. When you go to these places, it's not just cigarettes. Yeah, they are putting toxic chemicals in the cigarettes, but you don't have, like the rapper Prodigy said, who was murdered by the Illuminati, by the way, because he was also exposing the Illuminati secrets. Toxic food is causing cancer. You don't have to smoke. And um a lot of these meats, you got to be careful with a lot of these restaurants that you be buying meat from, because they put toxic chemicals in a lot of the meat at the restaurants, and you need to be careful when you go to a lot of these fast food places also, because a lot of these fast food places, they put toxic chemicals in the food, and a lot of these fast food places too. And I also feel like they definitely be putting toxic chemicals in the food at Taco Bell, because Taco Bell, a couple years ago, I saw this Taco Bell commercial, and the commercial was weird and creepy, and also they were in a dark room, they were dressed demonic, and also the commercial had the Illuminati symbolism in it, plus the commercial was called Bell Illuminati, which was a dead giveaway, by the way. So I definitely feel like they put toxic chemicals in the food at Taco Bell. So if I were you, and I were buying food from Taco Bell, I would not buy food from Taco Bell no more. Cause you heard it here first. They put toxic chemicals in the food at Taco Bell. When you go to a lot of these grocery stores, and if you look up closely at some of the food, it looks kinda creepy when you look at the food. And they put toxic chemicals and a lot of the meat at some of these grocery stores too. And they also put toxic chemicals in some of these Debbie cakes. They put toxic chemicals in some of the potato chips at the grocery store. And they also put toxic chemicals in some of these candies too. It's not a coincidence that some of these grocery stores that sell meat, the meat has toxic chemicals in it. It's not a coincidence that some of these potato chips and also some of the Debbie cakes and also some of the candies have toxic chemicals in them. It's not a coincidence that a lot of cigarettes and some of the other things that people smoke, like Black Mouse and marijuana, have toxic chemicals in them. It's not a coincidence that some of these places, that these fast food restaurants, their food have toxic chemicals in it. It's not a coincidence that some of these restaurants that people eat at has toxic, the food at the restaurants has toxic chemicals, and it's not a coincidence at all. And why do they put toxic chemicals in a lot of these, and the food at a lot of these restaurants? To kill people. Why do they put toxic chemicals in cigarettes and toxic chemicals in marijuana and Black Mouse? To kill people. Why do they put toxic chemicals in the meat at some of these grocery stores that people be buying? To kill people. And why do they put toxic chemicals in some of the candy and some of the dabby cakes, and also some of the potato chips at the grocery stores? To kill people. That is why they put toxic chemicals in these things. And it's not a coincidence that a lot of people in the world there's people in the world that are be getting sick from these foods. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence at all. So some of the times when people get sick, it's not even necessarily the pandemic. Sometimes when people get sick, is because the toxic chemicals that were put in food to make them sick. That's why they get sick from these foods. And they also get sick from these snacks and these, like, dabby cakes and potato chips and candy. I want to thank you all for watching today's video, and have a wonderful day.